Kyle Carnahan. Welcome back to Pittsburgh's Pennsylvania Motor Speedway for day 2 of the 1996 Pittsburgher 100, the 8th annual Pittsburgher, sanctioned by the Short Track Auto Racing Stars by Arizona Racing Series. Yesterday, 69 cars gathered here at Dirt's Monster Half Mile for time trials in the qualifying heats. Ronnie Johnson from Chattanooga, Tennessee was the fast qualifier. The Iski Racing Cam's Fast Dash was won by Tim Hitt, and he'll start on the pole for today's Pittsburgher. We still have 2 20-lap B mains with 8 starting positions for the Pittsburgher up for grabs, followed by the 8th annual Pittsburgher 100 with 34 cars running for that big purse, $21,000 to win. All righty. Stars late models move on to the Monster Half Mile for our first of two Autowares pre-filters, B mains. Ben Belich on the pole with one feature win this season here at Pennsylvania Motor Speedway, his first ever late model feature win on the Monster Half Mile. Brent Raybergen alongside in the 07, a feature winner this year at the Ace High Speedway. Racing John Mason in row number 2 on the inside in car 72 for Millersburg, Ohio. He has 7 career wins here at Pittsburgh, but he has been quiet the past few years when rolling into the Monster Half Mile. Ed Dunn in car 14 made his first Pittsburgher 100 last year. He'll start 4th. Mark Banal with a win just a couple of weeks back here in the T8 starts 5th. Bob Close, who picked up the win at the Bedford Speedway Friday night, starting 6th in car 04. Former track champion Ben Miley next in the 99. Youngster Courtney Cleatwell, the first time he's ever been to Pennsylvania Motor Speedway, from Cambridge, Ohio in the 12. Bedford's Jack Pencil in car 87. Dale Fuller in the 75. 3, Rich Curry, one of our top running limited late models. The 10 of Gary Lyle. 17, Lance Elson, just 16 years old. Jim Zarin in the 1C, another of our top running limited lates. Jim Mazer from Batavia, New York, first time he's been here in the 13. And the 76 of Dave Wade, another of our regular limited late model competitors. The Calusi Chevy Geo Monte Carlo will be making its way into the pits and will be set to go. 20 laps is the distance. The top 4 cars will move in to the Pittsburgher 100. Pace cars are off. Ben Belich and Brent Raybergen bring the field through turns 3 and 4. Autowares pre-filter number 1 for the Stars late model is underway. And Ben Belich takes the lead at the start. Belich, your leader, Raybergen on the outside as they head down the back straightaway side by side for the lead into turn number 3. Raybergen running the top side, and that's the fast way right now. I'm telling you, when the guys were up there practicing, you get her right on the top side of the black and just let her go. And Raybergen is pulling away. Belich second. Mason moves into third, and Mark Banal on the T8 trying to take 4th down the back stretch. He's got it. Close racing there. Banal, Ed Dunn, and Bob Close. The Ripley machine in 207R, Brent Raybergen, continues to lead here with Ben Belich second and John Mason third, Mark Banal 4th. Ed Dunn trying to hold off the 04, Bob Close for 5th. Mark Banal on the T8 now works the inside groove, trying to put pressure on the 72 of Racing John Mason for 3rd. As Brent Raybergen continues to lead by almost a half a straightaway. .21.06 that lap for Brent Raybergen. 21.06. His lead has started to shrink just a bit here. Ben Belich looks like he's closing in ever so slowly. Mason still 3rd, but now in the final transfer spot, not pressured there. Dunn is 5th, Close 6th, Clewell 7th, Fuller 8th, Miley 9th, Rich Curry 10th. But now again, right on Mason for 3rd as they exit turn number 4. Into 1. Racing John Mason still 3rd, closely followed by the T8 of Mark Banals. We come to the halfway point. 10 laps to go in this Autowares Pre-Filters B main halfway, and Banal will make the pass for 3rd. The Bag Shop Malkwood Racing Engines T8 started 5th. He's now 3rd. Courtney Clewell in the 12 slides up in front of Bob Close in turns 1 and 2. Close returns the favorite to making the pass back in turn 2. But now starting to close in on the 87 of Ben Bellich. And Bellich starting to close in on the 07 of Brent Rayberg, your leader. Eight laps to go. Dave Wade heads to the pits in car 76. Wade pitting in car 76. Lap traffic could be a problem here. Lance Elson and Jim Mazer about to be overtaken by your lead 4 cars. Here they come. Rayberg and Bellich, Banal and Mason down the backstretch. Mazer slows and heads for the pits in car 13. Six laps to go. John Mason closing in again on Mark Banal. Mason underneath Banal coming off of turn 4 with 5 to go. The final transfer spot. They're racing hard for 3rd and 4th. Remember the top 4 moving. Now Banal takes a charge at Bellich for 2nd. Into turn number 3. Still Rayberg leading, Bellich 2nd, Banal 3rd, Mason 4th. 4 laps to go. Brent Rayberg took the lead at the start. Ben Bellich still 2nd, Mark Banal 3rd, and John Mason 4th. Then it's back a straightaway to the 5th place car of Ed Dunn. Bob Close 6th, Courtney Clewell 7th, Dale Fuller 8th, Ben Miley 9th, and Rich Curry runs 10th. Two laps to go, Banal pushing high off of turn 4, and here comes racing John Mason. Banal able to hold him off another time. One lap to go, 1 to go. Brent Rayberg from Clymer, New York. He has made the Pittsburgher once before last year, make it 2 years in a row as he wins the first Autowares Pre-Filter B main. Ben Bellich into the Pittsburgher for the first time in car 87. Finishing 2nd, Mark Banal in the T8 3rd, and racing John Mason 4th.
No.
Brent Rayberg from Clymer, New York.
No.
Wire to wire for the feature win. The Autowares Pre-Filters B main win.
T8.
And he will start in his 2nd consecutive Pittsburgher 100. Ben Bellich, our local driver in car 87 from Aliquippa, finishes 2nd. He'll make his first Pittsburgher 100. Mark Banal and the Pittsburgher another time in the T8 after finishing 3rd, and the final transfer spot goes to the 72 of racing John Mason. Here's your lineup for B-Main number 2, the Outerwears Pre-Filters Company of Kalamazoo, Michigan. The official B-Main sponsor. Any driver not transferring to today's Pittsburgher receives points towards the Outerwears Pre-Filters B-Main Points Fund. Outerwears Pre-Filters, the industry leader for all pre-filtering needs. B4, Jack Boggs. 28B, Dick Barton. 1K, Jim Kudis. 83, Scott Rhodes. 1W, Bob Waring Sr. 7K, Randy Kimmel. 3, Matt Sherlock. 09, Mark Petrucci. 75, Don Gross. 93X, Rick Wachter. Mel Minnick Jr. in the 11, J.R. Kiefer in the 111. 15, Tom Erickson. 15B, Shane Biggle, and the 03 of Chevy Scott. They come off of turn number 4 down the front straightaway. Into 1. And 2. Side by side for the lead. Boggs and Barton, Chevy in 4 down the backstretch. Kudis sits in 3rd. Rhodes is 4th. Coming off of turn number 4, still side by side for the lead. It's Boggs, your leader, with 1 lap down. Barton 2nd. Kudis 3rd, Rhodes runs 4th. Randy Kimmel in the 7K, Bob Waring Sr. in the 1W side by side for 5th, with Matt Sherlock in the 3-car running 7th. Sherlock slides high in 4, the 09 of Mark Petrucci and the 75 of Don Gross moving on by. Boggs now starting to open up a big lead here with Barton by himself in 2nd. Kudis 3rd and Scott Rhodes still 4th, holding on to that final transfer spot. Bob Waring Sr. 5th. Randy Kimmel 6th. Rhodes in the 83 starting to challenge Kudis in the 1K for 3rd down the backstretch. Rhodes again pressuring Kudis, and now Bob Waring Sr. in the 1W joins the battle. 3 cars running hard for the final 2 transfer spots. Rhodes and Kudis wheel to wheel, contact in 4. Kudis still 3rd. Rhodes is 4th and Waring a close 5th. Scott Rhodes in the 83 again pulling up alongside of Jimmy Kudis as they race into turn number 3. Off of 4, side by side for 3rd down the front stretch. It's still Kudis. In 1 and 2, the battle continues. Bob Waring Sr. 5th, Don Gross in the 75, closing in 6th as Boggs and Barton have left the others way behind. Boggs leading by a straightaway. Barton in 2nd, a straightaway and more ahead of the 3rd place car of Jim Kudis. Scott Rhodes continues to challenge Jim Kudis. Bob Waring has slipped back a ways now in 5th. Rhodes may have the pass made this time. Down the back stretch, the 83R of Scott Rhodes makes the pass for 3rd. Jack Boggs turning that last lap at 19.76. Kudis, though, passes Rhodes back coming down the front stretch. Into 1, they're side by side, and it's still Rhodes in 3rd, Kudis 4th. Waring 5th, Gross is 6th. Jack Boggs starting to lap the field. He moves to the outside of Chevy Scott in car 03, completing lap 12, 8 to go. Bob Waring Sr. now closing on Jim Kudis, trying to pull alongside into turn 3. Couldn't make it there. He slips a bit, and Don Gross is now challenging Waring for 5th. Scott Rhodes by himself now in 3rd after he finally got by the 1K of Jim Kudis. Tom Erickson off the pace in car 15C. Matt Sherlock pitting as well in car 3. 5 laps is all that remains. No real challenges now for the first 4 spots. Boggs in turn 1 and 2, your leader. Barton in the 28B. Straight away back in 2nd, and it's almost a half a track to the 3rd place car of Scott Rhodes. 4th, the 1K of Jim Kudis. Just 2 laps to go. 2 laps to go in our second Outerwears Pre-Filters B main. Boggs takes the white flag. The Miller Brothers Construction, Chubby Baird Gate Company B4. He led the Pittsburgher last year for more than 90 laps. He'll be starting 23rd this afternoon. His work is cut out from Grayson, Kentucky. Outerwears Pre-Filters B main number 2 to Jack Boggs. Dick Barton will finish 2nd and start 25th. Finishing 3rd, the 83R Scott Rhodes, making his first Pittsburgher, as is the 1K of Jim Kudis. He beats Bob Waring to do it. And now we'll have practice for our cars who've already qualified for the Pittsburgher. Jack Boggs picks up the win. He will start 23rd. Dick Barton finishes 2nd. He will start 25th. Scott Rhodes from Somerset in the 83R makes his first ever Pittsburgher and will start 27th. And starting 29th will be 1K Jim Kudis from North Huntington, also making the Pittsburgher for the very first time.
real hard tires on it.
Every car on the racetrack lined up. Once we get them lined up, then we'll let the cars, the way they come down, in the order they come down, the way they will go out in the tail of the field. You might be leading a race, and some guy do that, you might not like it. You're running for $21,000 to win. I hate like hell to see a guy lose it because somebody in the back is not going to need the tire off the race. And yesterday I do. I'm only you, but there's water down there in the pit and it screwed you guys up. Up there, that's the way to your car. And squat. You got this thing. Now the wind's not blowing.
These people up there talking to you. Want to swear at them?
Todd, you and I were talking earlier. You're one of the drivers that had some tire problems yesterday, but the rain's going to definitely change that all tonight.
Yeah, it sure is. I mean, I was just talking to Brett Callahan there, and it's just a crapshoot right now. I don't have really much of a clue what we're going to do right now.
You've run Pittsburgh off and on over the years, and one of the things that happens down here anyways, that usually for the Pittsburgher track, it's hard and slick after the rain. It tends to pick a lot more bite up. I mean, you guys kind of just going to wait and see what's going to happen, or any idea what changes you are going to make?
Well, when you walked over, that's what we were just talking about, where to run on the track, what to change on the car, what tires to run, and just kind of thinking about it right now.
Your association with Bob Cowan now, 3 years, and starting to really put this team together. Win down at the Hillbilly 100. Let's talk about your season and some of the things that have been going on with you.
That win for us was really great. I mean, it gave us a lot of momentum going into these races late in the year, and give us a lot of confidence. I mean, the team has been coming on real strong all year long, and making strides to progress, and it's definitely shown.
Todd, best of luck tonight.
Thanks a lot.
Well, Steve, you look pretty good here in the hot laps today, and believe it or not, you're picked 2-1 of the odds on you to win this afternoon. So how's that make you feel?
It's an honor to be, picked with that kind of odds, but we just, we seem to run better here when the racetrack's in the 21-second bracket. When it gets down to that 19-second bracket, my car just doesn't seem to be comfortable to me. I mean, Timmy Hitt's car, they're identical, and his car seems to be good. I guess it's just me.
I wouldn't say that. You had a pretty good success here earlier on in the year with the victory in one of the twin 35s, but the second one just didn't pan out too well for you.
Well, we were leading that Penn National race and had a flat, and we won one of the twin 35s and then got in the wreck in the second one. So, I mean, this place has been good and bad to me. I always wanted to win a race here, so, we finally got that off our shoulders.
5 big wins with the Stars this year. You got the points lead. How's it feel?
Well, it's been a really good year. I've got Mark Richards and Steve Baker and them guys behind me, and they're helping me quite a bit. And it's been a really good year. I mean, if we don't win the title, it isn't the end of the world. We had a better year than we expected. We just go at each race like it's another race, and usually I don't even ask anybody what the points is. Somebody will come and tell me before the week's out, but I'm not going to worry about it, because every time you start worrying about something like that, you start making mistakes.
With the weather as it is here this afternoon, the track was really in excellent condition before. There was some rubber laid down on the track, and now the rains came. How much do you have to change your car to get ready for the rest of the race here?
I think the racetrack's going to be like the slower, slicker 21-second like I was talking about, and my car will be a whole lot more comfortable with me then than it will be the 19-second with the rubber on the racetrack. I mean, our cars seem to be better when the rubber isn't there.
Okay, Steve, thank you very much and good luck. Dow? Well, Tim, it's got to be an honor to start on the pole here this afternoon for the 8th annual Pittsburgher.
Oh yeah, I tell you, the car worked really well yesterday, time trial and then the dash. So the track was really nice shape and the car was fast. So I don't know what this rain's going to do to us now. So we'll just have to go out and try something and see what happens.
Well, I don't know how many of the fans up there know that you and Billy Moyer put on a heck of a show on Interstate here not too long ago, and here today, starting side by side.
Oh yeah, I tell you, Billy's a really great guy to race with. We ran side by side down the Interstate for probably 30 laps or more like that, and it was a fun race. I really enjoyed that race, and if we do it today and I come up on top again, I'm real happy.
Even second wouldn't be too bad. With the weather like it is, what's your opinion on the track, and how much is your chassis setup going to change from what it had been planned earlier?
Well, I don't know, because I tell you, I thought we were very good there hot lap, and I wish the rain didn't come, but it did. So we're going to make a few changes, go out there and hot lap, I guess. I assume they'll let us have some hot laps, and then see what the car's doing and make adjustments from there.
Okay, well, the best of luck to you, and good luck, Karen.
Okay, thank you.
Dick, a little bit of a struggle this weekend, but
struggle.
finished second in your heat race, and you're in the show.
Yeah, that was after qualifying. I mean, the outlook was certainly very bleak, and we certainly buried ourselves in a hole, and we're just trying to crawl out of it and trying to materialize some sort of finish here.
We're asking all the drivers, definitely track's going to be a little bit different. His team anticipate making a lot of changes before you go out?
I would assume that some things are going to have to happen, yeah. I've heard a lot of talk about tires and this and that and what have you, and I don't know. I think after this is a 100-lap race, and I honestly believe that the management here will probably have it running well enough to where we can, you can select your tires and be comfortable with them at the beginning.
Dick, last year, a real strong finish, 3rd place, and I know you guys came in kind of on a high note this year. And how tough is it for a driver and a team, with your confidence kind of riding high and running into problems like that during the weekend?
Well, we qualified 65th out of 69 cars, and we sat there in the truck. We all looked at one another and we said, well, should we start drinking beer? And one of the guys says, let's drink lots of it. So we just said, well, let's see what we can do in the heat and see if we can't somehow or another materialize or get ourselves in some sort of shape for a B main and try and work ourselves into the back door in this event. So so far the plan is going along pretty well. We did pick up a little speed during the B main, and again, the track conditions are going to change. The weather is changing, so in this racetrack you can pass, and that's a nice feature. So if you keep your nose clean and don't get lapped, anything can happen.
100 laps. I was just going to ask you, 100 laps. What's your strategy going to be? Are you going to hang back for a while and try to pick your way up, or just be patient?
No, you can't. If you do decide that you want to hang back, we've been timing some of the quicker cars here, and it won't be long, but what you'll be lapped, and so you've pretty much got to not necessarily go for broke, but it's got to be a kind of a controlled aggression to see if you can't maneuver yourself. And if you can't, if you selected the wrong tires, wrong chassis setup, or what have you, then maybe ideally it's best to get the heck off the racetrack. So I mean, we're in a position where we've simply got to try not to get lapped. So we've got to race hard right from the very beginning.
Dick, thanks a lot. Good luck this afternoon.
Thank you, Ted.
Well, Lou, it's a brand new ride for you yesterday on that car, huh?
Yeah, that's a new Barry Wright chassis, and I'm real happy with the car. It's a real good race car.
Well, it looked pretty good out there. 4 feature wins this year over the season here at Pittsburgh's Pennsylvania Motor Speedway. It's got to give you some type of advantage.
Well, you would think it would, but you accumulate the amount of wins this field has in it in a season, they all have 4 wins. This is the best of the best.
Well, something else, too. It might be a good aim one. I don't know, changing the number from 5 to 51.
Well, we'll have to see. I'm starting in the jackpot spot, so we'll just have to see what happens. I think the track's going to be better for racing as far as multi-grooved. I think you'll be able to race out here today.
Well, I know that was one of the concerns earlier on with the dry track. A lot of times we get a one groove, but there's quite a bit of passing going on, and even now with the moisture in the track, it should even provide better racing.
Well, what's going to happen is the guy that guesses right's going to win this one, because the track's going to change 2 or 3 times during the race. It's going to be real fast at the beginning. It'll probably slick off, and then it'll get fast again at the end. So the guy that guesses right is going to be the guy that wins this race, and it could be anybody.
Yeah, even walking through the pits, I noticed there aren't too many cars that were even set up close to being the same. And I know a lot of the guys with the different driving styles, that has a lot to do with it. But you would think that the guys that drive here would be pretty much similar, but that's not the case at all.
No, that's not the case, and the guys that are running here in this show usually run on dry, slick racetracks all the time. And this racetrack's usually not in the condition it is for this race during the year. So actually, the guys that come in have a better advantage because they're used to driving on that type of surface. This is going to change things.
Okay, Lou, well, best of luck to you.
Thanks a lot. I'll need it.
Thanks. Okay, Billy Moyer, you had a pretty good run back in 1991. You got second. I hope that you're going to do one better today.
Yeah, we're going to try to. We got a better starting spot today for sure, and this rain's going to have everybody guessing a little bit, I think. But we just hope we make the right decisions.
A lot of the guys seem to think that their chassis setup's pretty close. Are you going to be the same, or are you going to have to make a lot of changes?
Well, we just don't know what the track's going to do. It's been not run here much, so it's a lot of these other guys have. The rain just depends on how much it's going to change. We will have to change a few things if we have a lot different conditions than what we had, which it looks like we're going to. So it just depends. I know the track's real hard, and it might blow right off of there and be right back to where we was at like here practice night. So I hope it's like that, where you could run 3 or 4 wide on this thing. It's a blast out there when it's like that.
Well, the new racing team, the GVS and the Bazooka base tubes there, have been doing real well. Big win last weekend there.
Yeah, that was a real good win for us. We, went in there and, kind of the same way. The track was a lot different the second day than the first day, and we just hit everything pretty close on the car, and it worked real good for us.
Your old nemesis, Tim Hitt, starting right up there in the front row. What's the thoughts on that?
Yeah, I know, here run good. He, we had a good race over here at 79 the other day. We ran side by side, I think, for about 40 laps. So, maybe we'll do that again today and be a different winner this time, though.
All right, Billy, good luck.
All right, thank you.
Thanks.
here? Actually, I came here for an NDRA racing.
I think we have the answer here. He just started to mumble it. When was the first time you was here?
Oh, we actually came here one time for an NDRA race clear back in 1981. Supposed to be a Friday, Saturday show, and it rained Friday night out, it rained Saturday night out, and it rained Sunday, but we ran Sunday night.
Seems like when you come here, maybe you bring the rain with you. I don't know.
I hope it's not me. I don't know. The conditions here tonight can't be anything like they were then. They were really terrible. It rained so much. They just already had a lot of rain that week, and the track was really rough and wet and rough. But you know, it looks like the track's going to be in real good shape. The rain might even help us. It might make for a more exciting race.
A lot of the fans may not know it, but you teamed up with Scott Bloomquist and the J&J Steel Ford racing team. How's that going for you this year?
It's working pretty well. It's a little bit of a learning curve for me. I've pretty much done, I want to say everything. I didn't do everything because I had some help, but it's mostly volunteer help. And, you know, now we've got a real good crew. You know, they got a good maintenance program, keep the cars prepared, and takes a lot of pressure off me. I can sleep now.
It's pretty prestigious setting the time fast at something like the Pittsburgher.
Yeah, I mean, that's a feather in the cap. That means a lot to come to a race like this, especially for the first time, you know, and have fast time. You know, we struggle in the dash there a little bit, but, you know, we're making some changes and getting ready for, you know, anticipating what the track will be like here with the weather and all for 100 laps.
Well, you know, for all you Ford fans, we've got 3 Fords in the field here today, and here's one of them. How do you like driving the Ford? Does it seem to have good power?
It's got great power. You know, Cornette builds a really good motor. Reliability's pretty good on it, and we always have plenty of power.
Okay, well, best of luck to you here in the Pittsburgher.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you. All right, Jack, like Dal said here just a couple seconds ago, a real heartbreaker last year. The car looked so strong.
Yeah, we were good. The motor picked up a little vibration, and I guess we broke a rod bolt, but the car was real super. Everything was working real good. We just fell short there at the end.
You know, what's really deceiving to, I'm sure, to a lot of the fans that come here and watch Jack Boggs qualify through the B main, but there are some tough cars here.
Yeah, definitely they are, and we had a little slick spot going into one up there, and it got us out of shape a little bit on our qualifying lap. Should have slowed down a little more, I guess, but our car's been running good all weekend. We turned some good times, but we just got to start in the back.
Well, with 100 laps, it's pretty hard to tell. You just never know what's going to happen.
Well, if we get this rain out of here and get the mud off the track, maybe we'll have a hope. I don't know. We'll try.
How's the season been going for you overall?
Well, not real good. We've been putting together a new team and new truck trailer, and we just had a lot of ties and a lot of stuff to look after, but we're building on it, and I feel real confident it's come along real good.
Okay, well, we got long 100 laps here coming up, especially with the track is going to be damp as we all think it's going to be. What's the big changes on the car, if any?
Well, we got to look at some stuff, and I guess we're going to get a few laps on it and kind of do some guessing and go from there, I guess.
All right, Jack. Well, best of luck to you.
Thank you very much.
Dow, Gary Stoller and I were walking down here. I said, Gary, you've been awful fast this weekend. And he just looked at me and says, I was. Gary, obviously referring to what the rain did to the track here this afternoon.
Well, I think everybody's sitting around now, you know, just wondering what we're going to do with tires and what the racetrack's going to be like. It's going to be you know, we raced with the sun out for most of the weekend. Now it's a whole different ball game.
Gary, you've always been awful fast, and I know you like to ride the big tracks.
Well, I'm pretty good at this place. You know, when it gets slippery, you can move around the racetrack, and it's pretty racy. You can run the bottom, run the tops, and that's kind of the place I like.
One of the other things we were talking about, it's been awful hard to get used to you see in a 19 car versus being in the red 44. How's this new team working out for you?
Well, it's been real good. You know, we've been doing a little bit more traveling. Dale's, you know, gave me good equipment. We just we're learning a lot this year on tires, and it's been a couple years since I've been out, you know, traveling around a good bit. But, you know, we're just plugging away.
In your plans, are you going to be traveling more? Probably obviously for the rest of this year, but what about next year?
Well, we'll probably do the same thing. You know, everybody on the crew's got a regular job, so it's kind of hard to run the whole Stars deal. But, you know, the ones that are close to home, you know, like Pittsburgh and Pennsburg and places like that, we're going to try to hit most of those.
Gary, thanks a lot. Good luck today.
Thank you very much.
You didn't know that? Huh? You didn't know that?
All right, first we're going to talk to Dave Johnson here. Dave, pretty good run there in the heats yesterday. Car looks strong.
Not as strong as we needed it to be, but this rain will sure throw a curve into a lot of things.
You think it's going to help you or maybe hinder a little bit?
Where we're starting, I think it'll be helping us a little bit. Track ought to be a lot wider and probably a lot slicker for quite a while.
Well, you know, the Dave Johnson that we've seen here many times just kind of hangs out in the middle, makes a hard charge at the end of that race. Do you see that happening today, or is it going to be a go-get-'em, ready-to-green kind of show?
We're gonna have to get going right off the bat here. If it gets blackened up real quick, 30 or 40 laps into it, then it might narrow the grooves up a little bit. So gonna have to go from the start.
Do you prefer the track the way it's probably going to be now, or the way it was with the sun was out and asphalt black out there?
It was nice like that, but starting where I'm starting, I definitely like it a little better the way it is now. I think so anyhow.
All right, Dave, best of luck to you. Mike, if you could squeeze on in here real quick. You also looked real well there yesterday. The old 2J looked mighty fine out there doing them laps.
The car was hooked up great. It stuck right to the track. I could go just about anywhere I wanted to go with it. We thought the car was going to be pretty good today, but kind of changed things around with this rain.
Any big changes on the car, or did you have to change things a lot to think, you know, to where the track's going to be?
Just kind of got it's going to be a guessing game, I guess, today, more than anything.
Well, the big question I know earlier on seemed to be the tires a little bit. I watched a lot of the crews earlier whenever they come in after fast laps. As soon as the car got stopped, there was tape put over the hardness of the tires. I would imagine that'll probably change as well as the chassis setup.
Yeah, it's going to make it maybe a little bit easier to decide on what tires, because you know, we had some hard tires on them. You come in and things were just blazing hot. You know, I don't know if I'd have made 100 laps or not. So it's going to be a little different now.
Well, I know a lot of guys are just running around here changing things. Not so much the drivers, but the crews. A lot of them back there scratching their heads.
Yeah, it's going to be, like I said, it's going to be a big guessing game right now, and I just hope we make the right decisions.
Okay, Mike, thanks a lot. Best of luck to you.
Thank you.
We're up there, they hear it? Or? For the folks that wasn't here for the Penn National back in July, the words can't explain the finish of that race. The last 10 laps, you just come out of nowhere.
Well, the car kept getting better and better there at the end of that race. A little lucky on the last couple laps there, otherwise I don't think we'd have made it.
Now, just to wipe the slate clean here, how far away from home are you right here?
I don't know, 18, 19 hours, I think.
Well, I'll tell you, really got to enjoy it. But that was a pretty big win for you. And the car looks real well yesterday and there today in a hot lap. So how do you feel about the track and the chassis setup and everything you got going right now?
I don't know, we've practiced better than we've raced since we got here. I guess the hot lap's been going better than when it really counted. I guess this rain's going to change some things, since if they get to drop the green, it'll be later in the evening here and cooler and stuff. But so I think I'll have to make some adjustments. Our car hasn't been quite as quick when the track's been slower.
Well, I think the race is going to turn out real well for you. How do you like running here at Pittsburgh?
It's a nice facility. They do a heck of a job keeping it running here.
One more quick question. Well, I know you're very busy here. How's the season been going in general for you? I know you've had a couple wins here and there.
Oh, it's been kind of a different year for me, really. We made a lot of changes from shop to shop, and new tow rig and new crew, but we've had a pretty decent year. I think we got around 16 wins, and we're pretty happy with the year.
Well, good. Best of luck to you, Rick, and thank you for your time.
Thank you.
normally do it. You know,
You hear that, Art?
Yeah.
All right, listen, we're racing. All right, we're pushing them now. He can come out at any point as long as it's working. He'll be down however many laps.
Race cars and they can't put a $30 battery in it. Yeah, the deal with Binal, you know, he's going to be laps down, he can come out. There's no problem with that.
94, Davey Johnson, and last year again, Scott Bloomquist. Yeah, won't worry about that. We'll, yeah.
Bradish didn't have to put a one on.
Going green, Ted, going green.
I'm gonna charge it for that next year.
Yeah, they're going green the next time by. Go to the pits. Go to the pits. Or maybe now, maybe they are going one. Greg's still got the caution out. Stay out. One more lap. My mistake, Ted. One more lap. Steve Shaver into 30. Dave Groves into 32, row 3. Steve Baker in the 84. Scott Bloomquist in the 18, row 4. 2J Mike Johnson starting 9th. Gary Stewart in the 19 is 10th. The green flag is up. The next time around, the Pittsburgher 100 will unfold. Here we go. Tim hit Billy Moyer. The 1996 8th annual Pittsburgher 100. Here they come. The green is out. Hit with the lead. Moyer second, Moran third. Geisler fourth, and Shavers and Groves and Bloomquist battle for fifth. Geisler slides underneath Moran to take third in turn 4. Timmy Hitt opens up a half a straightaway lead in just a lap and a half. Moyer second, and Geisler charging on the bottom, trying to take that second spot. Moran fourth, Groves fifth. Shaver sixth, Mike Johnson up to 7th. Geisler continues to hound Billy Moyer for second into turn number 3. Pace in turn 2. The 30 car of Steve Shaver comes to a stop up in turn number 2. The caution is out. Tim Hitt in car 68. Is your leader. Car 30, Steve Shaver, heads to the pits. Car 30, Steve Shaver, heads to the pits.
1884. 42, 18, 84. 42, 18, 84.
Laps are counting.
That's 6 laps, guys. Down.
6.
One lap out, and they take when he throws the green.
7 laps down. We're ready to go back to green.
Lap 8 coming up, Rick. Lap 8 coming up.
Tim Hitt had built up a big lead. And the rocket chassis Dream Racing engine 68. Here comes Steve Shaver.
You're coming out. All right, so it's okay.
Oh, man. Green is out.
Chapping, check. Okay. Score 9.
Lynn Geisler trying to pass Billy Moyer for second off the floor, turn down the front stretch. Into number 1, wheel to wheel for that second spot. Geisler makes the pass. Now Moyer tries to return the favor down the back straightaway on the inside. Mike Johnson has moved to 4th in the 2J. Todd Andrews to 5th in car 42. Moyer back to second. Billy Moyer Jr. back around Geisler for second. As Hitt completes lap 11, turning that lap at 19.32 seconds. 19.32. Davey Johnson in the 1J, almost into the top 5 after starting 16th. Johnson up to 6th in the 1J. Tim Hitt leads by almost a straightaway, already beginning to lap the field. Moyer 2nd, Geisler 3rd, Mike Johnson 4th, Todd Andrews 5th. Hitt dives to the inside to lap the 1K of Jim Kudis. Still Moyer 2nd, Geisler 3rd, Todd Andrews 4th, Mike Johnson 5th, and here comes Davey Johnson to 5th, Todd Andrews trying to move to 3rd. Andrews to 3rd. Davey Johnson is on the charge. The 1J coming off of turn 4 on the inside, trying to take Geisler for 4th into turn number 1. 16th to 4th in 14 laps for Davey Johnson. Tim Hitt laps the field again coming off of turn 4, trying to get by the 79 of B.A. Malquit. 15 are down, 15 laps complete. Hitt is on a roll here, the 68 car just flying. Scott Bloomquist now starting to come forward. Bloomquist is up to 6th. Lots of lap traffic in front of race leader Tim Hitt. B.A. Malquit, 79 in the pits. B.A. Malquit in car 79 in the pits. Davey Johnson now challenging Todd Andrews for 3rd. Johnson right with Andrews for 3rd, and right in front of them the 21 of Billy Moyer running 2nd. Bloomquist is now up to 5th. Bloomquist in the 18 is in the top 5. Geisler 6th. Mike Johnson 7th. Moran 8th. Suler 9th. And Bart Hartman runs 10th. Jack Boggs 11th. Rick Auckland 12th. And Steve Francis. Hitt continues to fly down the backstretch, going by Moore, the back of the pack. And Moyer, Andrews, and Johnson having their own race for 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. They're 3 wide for 2nd, coming off of turn 4. It's Moyer, Johnson to 3rd. Now Andrews is 4th. Hitt continues to fly out in front. Moyer, Johnson, and Andrews racing hard behind him as they head into turn number 3. Look at this gaggle of cars coming through 3 and 4. Moyer, Johnson, Andrews with 3 wide in front of them. Down the front straightaway, Davy J trying to take second from Billy Moyer. Johnson down low on the inside, hugging the guardrail, moves to second. Moyer third, Andrews is fourth, and Bloomquist still fifth. Johnson from 16 to second in 20 laps. Tim Hitt, your leader, down the front stretch. His lead has shrunk to a half a straightaway. Hitt now trying to go by the 28 of Dick Barton. Johnson within 10 car lengths in second. Andrews and Moyer side by side for third. Andrews down low moves to third. Moyer is fourth. Bloomquist still fifth. And Johnson is closing again on Tim Hitt down the backstretch as they lap the field. Davy Johnson on the charge. Tim Hitt has led from the start, and Johnson is on his bumper coming off at turn 4. 49, Brian Ruhlman pitting. As Mark Bunnell comes onto the racetrack for the first time in the T8. Hitt and Johnson bumper to bumper down the back stretch. Hitt now opens up some car length lead there. Through turns 3 and 4. Hitt continues to lead. Johnson in second. 24 laps complete. Andrews is third. Moyer fourth, and Bloomquist trying to pass Moyer for the 4th spot. They're side by side off of turn 2. Billy Moyer and Scott Bloomquist trying to negotiate a lap car at the same time. Moyer still fourth with Bloomquist fifth. Out in front, Hitt and Johnson in heavy traffic as they race into turn number 1. 25 laps down. Johnson going for the lead off the second turn. Hitt won't let him get there. Tim Hitt still your leader. Johnson right behind him as they go around the 5 of Lou Bradish. Try to go by Bradish. They've got Barton still up high in front of them. 26 laps complete. Todd Andrews now has closed in on the front 2, and Scott Bloomquist has taken over 4th. Billy Moyer is 5th. They're crowded down the backstretch. What a race. Here comes Hitt. Down low, Johnson in the middle, a car length back. More than that now, he's got 2 lap cars between first and second. Andrews right behind Johnson in third. Tim Hitt has his hands full. He is working traffic. Some thick traffic. And Bloomquist is coming on. Scott Bloomquist is coming. 2 more cars to the pits. T8 Mark Bunnell and 83 Scott Rhodes. It's bumper to bumper for the lead. Here comes Bloomquist off the turn 2 on the outside. He goes from 4th to 3rd. Bloomquist trying to take second. He's going for the lead. He's up high. Scott Bloomquist is your leader in turn 4 down the front straightaway. Him and Hitt wheel to wheel. Bloomquist has got the lead. Where did he come from? 29 laps complete. Hitt second now. Johnson and Andrews racing side by side for third. Bloomquist charges into 3, splits 2 lap cars, puts her up on the cushion, coming off of turn number 4. 30 laps are down, and Scott Bloomquist has got the lead. Tim Hitt still second. Caution is out. Donnie Moran stops up in turn 3. Caution is out. Wow. Nathan, that's a lap. Hitt second, Johnson third. Make that Andrews third, Johnson fourth, Moyer fifth. Donnie Moran in the pits. Donnie Moran in the pits. We'll get a report.
34 down.
Donnie Moran with a left front tire that's flat.
Okay. All right.
Ask Smokey if he only wants Ted doing this up to the 50th lap.
That's all we want. We just want Ted to do this to the 50th lap, period.
Yeah,
Okay,
that's right, Ted.
36 down.
Once it gets to 50, you'll keep it in there. this is the most awesome race I've ever seen. It goes this way for the number 70. I don't know who. Get the video, baby. It's worth it. Here we go.
This is 37. This is 37, but we don't score it.
Now, right?
Yeah.
Bloomquist continues to lead. Hits second, Johnson third, Andrews runs fourth. Fifth right now is Gary Stuhler in car 19. Then Lynn Geisler, Bart Hartman, Jack Boggs, Rick Auckland, all together. Hartman passing Geisler. Steve Francis also in the top 10 in car 15. They are 3 wide for 6th off of turn 2. Hartman, Geisler, and Boggs negotiating the star 1 of Chubb Frank. Bloomquist leads, Hitt runs 2nd, and Johnson is 3rd. Andrews 4th, and Stuhler 5th. Johnson trying to take 2nd from Tim Hitt off of turn 2 down the back straightaway. Bloomquist your leader. Side by side for 2nd. Tim Hitt on the outside continues to run 2nd with Johnson 3rd, Andrews 4th, Stuhler still 5th. Hartman is 6th, Boggs 7th, Geisler 8th, Auckland 9th now, and I believe Balzano 10th. Check that, Steve Francis 10th. Steve Francis 10th in car 15. Bloomquist now slowly closing on the rear of the field, ready to start lapping cars another time. The J&J Steel Delta Truck Line. Action Racing Collectibles 18 is on the move on the top side of the racetrack. He is riding the rim. Gary Stuhler in the 19, closing on Todd Andrews, who runs 4th. As Bloomquist starts to pick off more lap cars, Hitt now left Johnson. Tim Hitt running up high, but he's got 2 lap cars in his path as he heads down the front straightaway into turn number 1. The hole opens and Hitt tries to make it through, but it's not easy. Hartley comes up in front of him. Hitt dives down underneath him on the back chute. Car 30, Steve Shaver off the pace another time and heads to the pits. Steve Shaver in car 30 in the pits. Jack Boggs now. Boggs has moved up into the 6th spot as Stuhler runs 5th, and just a car between he and the 4th place car of Todd Andrews. Boggs is 6th, Hartman 7th, Geisler 8th, Francis 9th. Rick Auckland having dropped out in car 12. Scott Bloomquist trying to lap Donnie Moran, the 87 of Ben Bellich in the pits. Bloomquist dives underneath Moran off of turn 2 as Stuhler continues to hound Andrews for 4th. Bloomquist riding the rim. 2 cars in front of him as he comes off of 4. Look at this move. He dives low to make it 3 wide on the inside. Now he comes back up across, using up every inch of the monster half mile. Gary Stuhler and Todd Andrews still side by side for 4th down the back straightaway. Bloomquist's lead, a half a chute over the 68 of Tim Hitt, with Davey Johnson just about 12 car lengths back in 3rd. Stuhler and Andrews still side by side for 4th and 5th. Jack Boggs is 6th, Bart Hartman 7th.
Yes, he did.
Billy Moyer goes a lap down to Scott Bloomquist. We are past the halfway point, 50 laps down. This will be lap 51 for Ed Ferree into the pits. Ed Ferree in car 4 into the pits. Look at Bloomquist just dive into the corners, turn her left and go. Tim Hitt still second, Davey Johnson third, staying within striking distance. Stuhler has taken over fourth now. Andrews is fifth. Boggs still sixth. Hartman seventh. Geisler runs eighth. Francis ninth. The only cars on the lead lap. 9 cars on the lead lap. He is just putting her up there and flying. Scott Bloomquist looking for his 4th Pittsburgher win. Still a long way to go, but he is putting on a show. Tim Hitt and Davey Johnson using the inside line, running second and third. Bloomquist, he's middle or top, well, let's say anywhere as he comes off the bottom of turn number 4. Lots of lap traffic now in front of Tim Hitt and Davey Johnson in that race for second and third. Bloomquist has lapped Steve Francis, leaving Lynn Geisler in 8th spot, the only car, the last car on the lead lap. And Bloomquist right behind Geisler as they race into turn number 1. Geisler running 8th, right in front of race leader Scott Bloomquist. Geisler with a nice move off of turn 2, getting by the 72 of John Mason, the 28 of Dick Barton. Jack Boggs running 6th, closing in on the 42 of Todd Andrews, the 5th place car. Bart Hartman running in the 7th spot. Well ahead of the 8th place car of Lynn Geisler. Geisler gets lapped into turn number 3. Bloomquist gets by. And Geisler goes a lap down. So Hartman is now the last car on the lead lap. Bart is in turn number 2, or 3, excuse me. Bloomquist in turn 2, your leader. Tim Hitt now stretched out the advantage over Davey Johnson to a half a straight as they run second and third. Back another straight to the 19 of Gary Stuhler in 4th. Andrews is 5th, and a fast coming Jack Boggs is right behind him. Boggs in the B4, who started 23rd, now trying to enter the top 5. To go, less than 40 laps remaining. Bloomquist just setting a blistering pace. Nothing slows him down. Up high, down low, anywhere. Tim Hitt down the front chute, getting by Lynn Geisler. Hitt still second. Johnson is third. Stuhler 4th. Todd Andrews still 5th, followed closely by the B4 of Jack Boggs and the 75 of Bart Hartman. The last car on the lead lap, still a straightaway ahead of Scott Bloomquist. Andrews, Boggs, and Hartman coming off of 4 positions. 5, 6, and 7. Boggs makes the pass. Jack Boggs up to 5th. Andrews 6. Now Hartman gets his nose in there. The 75 car on the inside. Down the backstretch. Bloomquist coming by, completing lap 64. Boggs slides up high. Andrews is back underneath him, trying to take that 5th spot back off of turn 4. 65 laps are down. Andrews and Boggs still going at it down the back chute. Boggs is back in 5th. Andrews 6th, Hartman 7th, and Bloomquist just a straightaway back, your leader, trying to put them a lap down. "66 laps complete. Lots of lap traffic in front of your leader, Scott Bloomquist, as he races into turn number 1. Look at him just cut that car right across the racetrack from outside to inside. Now back up high into turn 3. Timmy hit all of a sudden within a straightaway of the race leader. Bloomquist, maybe his tires are going a bit. He dives low coming off of turn 4, still trying to lap the 2J of Mike Johnson. Hit starting to close in ever so slowly on the leader. Laps to go this time by. 30 laps to go in the Pittsburgher 100. Tim Hitt definitely made up some ground on Bloomquist. Hitt now a straightaway in front of the 3rd place car of Davey Johnson. Jack Boggs, Todd Andrews, and Bart Hartman still battling 5th, 6th, and 7th as they work lap traffic, trying to stay on the lead lap. Scott Bloomquist, your leader, is closing in on that trio. And Hitt continues to cut into Bloomquist's lead, no doubt about it. It's down to a half a straightaway. Hitt is coming again. Off of turn 4, Tim Hitt is closing in on Scott Bloomquist. 26 laps to go. The J&J still Delta Truck Line 18 trying to hold off the Drame Racing Engine Rocket Chassis 68. Davey Johnson 3rd, Gary Stuhler 4th, Jack Boggs 5th, Todd Andrews 6th, and Bart Hartman 7th. Hartman right in front of the race leader as they work down the back chute. Less than 25 laps to go. Tim Hitt gets by the star 1 of Chubb Frank as Bloomquist tries to lap the 75 of Bart Hartman. Bloomquist with 3 cars in front of him now. Hitt continues to charge, trying to close in some more. Into turn 1, Bloomquist down low. Hitt now within a handful of car lengths off at 2 down the back straightaway. Hitt is coming. Bloomquist pinned down low. Hitt continues to run the top. Off of turn 4, Bloomquist your leader. Baker moves over, Hitt goes by. Balzano now the only car between 1st and 2nd. Clear racetrack for Scott Bloomquist. Tim Hitt trying to lap Mike Balzano, and he does. Your leaders 1 and 2, nothing between right now. 6th place car of Todd Andrews, the last car on the lead lap is car 1K, Jim Kudis pits. 21 laps to go. Bloomquist now trying to stretch that lead another time. continues to make up ground. Bloomquist was able to open up a bit when they got through the traffic, but Hitt now seems to be coming back toward your leader. Johnson still by himself in third. Stuhler is fourth. Boggs runs fifth. Andrews sixth. Less than 19 laps to go. Less than 19 laps to go. Tim Hitt continues to charge. More lap traffic in front of Scott Bloomquist as he exits turn 4. 17 laps to go. Down the back chute, trying to lap the 6th place car of Todd Andrews. Laps to go. Gary Stuhler closing in on the 3rd place car of Davey Johnson, who's stuck in traffic. Bloomquist lapping Andrews, leaving 5 cars on the lead lap. Or is he? Andrews back by him. 15 laps to go. 15 to go. Some raindrops falling. Todd Andrews sits between your 2 leaders. Laps to go. Scott Bloomquist continues to lead by about 10 car lengths down the back straightaway. Every time Hitt looks like he's making a charge, Bloomquist is able to open it up just a little bit. He seems to have that little extra when he needs it. 13 laps to go. 13 laps to go. Davey Johnson is 3rd. Gary Stuhler 4th. Stuhler right behind Johnson. Jack Boggs still on the lead lap right in front of Scott Bloomquist. 12 laps to go. Down the back straightaway, Bloomquist trying to lap Boggs. Moran between Bloomquist and Hitt. 11 laps to go. 11 laps to go. Scott Bloomquist into turn 3, trying to lap Jack Boggs. Last year at this time of the race, they were running for the lead. 10 to go, 10 laps to go. More lap traffic in front of Scott Bloomquist. Gary Stuhler trying to get by Davey Johnson as they continue their battle through 3 and 4, running 3rd and 4th. Close call in front of the leader there. Mason and Mike Johnson real close in front of Bloomquist. Down the back stretch, Bloomquist by Mike Johnson. 2 cars now between 1st and 2nd. Timmy Hitt able to keep his car straighter through the corners. No cars between 1st and 2nd now with 8 laps to go. Davey Johnson still 3rd. Right behind him, Gary Stuhler as they negotiate lap traffic. Not far in front of the race leader. Hitt is closing again. Tim Hitt in car 68. Comes off the bottom of turn 4. Around the 72 of John Mason. Not yet. Now he goes by on the outside into turn number 1. 7 laps to go. Down the back stretch, Bloomquist by 8 car lengths, your leader. Six laps to go. 6 to go. Scott Bloomquist looking for his 4th Pittsburgher win. Trying to win it 2 years in a row. 5 laps remaining. Down the back straight, Bloomquist goes by another car. I think it was the 15 of Steve Francis. A lot of lap traffic, though, in front of Bloomquist. 4 laps to go, 4 to go. A lot of lap traffic, 5 cars in front of your leader. Down the back stretch, Hit closing in another time. Here they come off of 4 with 3 more laps to go. 3 laps to go. Double foul in front of Bloomquist. Into turn 1. Bloomquist lead now just 3 car lengths down the back stretch. Make it 4. He goes in low. Around the 5 of Lou Bradish. 2 laps to go. Hit way down low. 2 laps to go into turn 1. Bloomquist. Decision time down the back stretch. Coming for the white flag. Bloomquist slides up the racetrack, splits 2 lap cars. Hit is alongside, side by side for the lead. Hit has got the lead with 1 lap to go. Into 1, Bloomquist goes up high. Hit is down low, lap traffic in their path. Off of turn 2 down the back straightaway, side by side into 3. Still a lap car, Hit down low has got the lead back. Bloomquist close to the wall. Timmy Hit is going to win the Pittsburgher 100. Tim Hit will win, Bloomquist second. What a finish. Davey Johnson and Gary Stuhler running for 3rd and 4th off of turn number 4. Johnson will get 3rd, Stuhler 4th. What a finish. Unbelievable.
Woo! Oh, I had no idea what was going through my mind. I tell you, I was just trying to keep my line, keep just on the best that I could do. And you know, we started off real fast, and then Scott went by me, and it seemed like he went off there a little bit. But I noticed there towards the end, I was catching him back, and you know, the lap traffic actually just, I think the lap traffic did it, but I think he was slowing down a little bit, and we were staying about the same speed. But I tell you, Rocket Chassis, Dream Racing Engines, AFCO products, I tell you, they're all done a super job and been very patient with me this year, and I'm finally glad to give them a big one.
Was it worth the wait?
Oh, yes, it was.
Tell you what, he's got a big photo session. Folks, let's give him a nice hand. Tim Hit.
I'm coming up. Go ahead. Get up.
First suit I saw with check sand take him up? Okay. Man, I'm gonna need a push.
I'll get it up. Can you just stand up for me? Yeah.
I thought we need to take privilege. They already did.
You
Any
guys send
questions?
Scott Hartley a Christmas card this year?
Yes. Yeah, he was up there on that top groove, and that helped.
Looked like you run just about anywhere out there. I mean,
Yeah. At the beginning of the race, I could run anywhere. You know, the track was sort of packing in, and started slipping off a little bit. But towards the end of the race, yeah, it started getting a little bit more traction back down the track. And I could run in the middle, down here in 3 and 4. I thought we were pretty good. And then I could run on top. 1 and 2, I couldn't run the bottom very well.
coming up from 16th, David, you got up near the top real quick.
Too quick. Too quick. We was went a little softer on tires, and I've heard that mud to stay on that bottom a little longer than it did, and I get up and run the top side for a little bit and have to jump back down and cool the tires down. And I know once I got up there with Timmy for a little while, and then he started checking back out, I knew that I was in trouble, so I just nursed her home.
And long green flags from what, lap 30, I think, all the way. I mean, with all the lap cars and that. Lap cars were not a problem.
They were when I was leading. But towards the end of the race, it wasn't that bad. I mean, they pretty well stayed out of the way for the most part. I like the long greens. I think I run a little bit better. Takes me too long to start.
Tim, about that last 25, 30 laps, I was about a straightaway behind him, and I saw him coming off the lap cars. I kept thinking, I know you're going to remember this, I kept thinking Tyler County about 3 months ago when you got dugged out on the last lap. And I saw him a straightaway ahead, and a lot of people were saying, it's over, Bloomer's got it. And I kept thinking, Tyler County, he's going to get on the last lap, Tyler County. You going to make a habit of this?
I don't know. I hope so. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, he jumped out there from me when he passed me, and I thought, well, I'm just going to keep riding right here. But I noticed towards the end that I could see him a lot better, and it seemed like we kept getting closer, and then we caught lap traffic, and then that one time it hurt a little bit, but then that last time it really helped.
Tim, Scott was saying it was rain. Rain was messed up a lot. You should have stopped the race.
No.
Was it affecting anything? Because he said it totally threw setups off at the end.
I mean, I didn't even really know it was raining until Mark came on the radio and said it was raining. I didn't have any rain on my shield or anything.
A little bit. Just a little bit. It wasn't too bad, though.
It wasn't anything like getting
stuck. Not in that top groove where I guess he was running at. It didn't bother him whatsoever.
So the way they have the track for the race now, you'd like to see that in years to come? I mean, obviously.
Well, you got to give Brian and his dad credit here. I mean, it went from 80 degrees in sunshine to rain, and that thing's still smooth as can be. I mean, it's the best prepared track in the country. There's no doubt about it.
For getting all that rain, the track still being the way it was super.
What concern did you guys have going into the race after both rain shocks? I mean, as far as your setups that you had earlier, you had to make a lot of changes, shocks, springs.
We changed just minor actions. The biggest concern for me was, I mean, I thought I was pretty quick when the track was black, and when it rained, you don't know.
I didn't change much at all. It was pretty good. We just doing a little experimenting with the tires, and because in hot laps, the hot laps we did get, you pretty much know in the track that it was going to come back around. But
with you guys being, you've run out there a lot, obviously. I think that was a big advantage for you guys tonight, especially with all the curveballs and weather throughout.
I don't think so. I mean, as far as my setup anyhow, I mean, we went out right back out, and the track was, was good then too. So.
Not when you're racing against.
No, not these guys. They've seen it rain before.
Not so much for purse, but consider how it was done. You think that's the best one you ever had?
Oh yeah.
What'd you say when you crossed the finish line? Had the lead there.
I didn't say nothing.
You do anything?
I was weak. There's a lot of screaming in my ear. I don't know that.
Did you turn the radio off? A little too loud. Had you ever beaten Scott in the last lap? I mean, not in the last lap, but have you ever beaten him in a race like that? I meets for a big winner in. He's supposed to be, he's the guy that, you know, he has the domination on the back of his shirt and all this. So he's supposed to come with this Bora. So
we beat him down interstate a couple years ago, something like that.
Usually though, when he breaks out in front like that,
oh yeah,
you don't expect that you're gonna
come back by.
Yeah.
Was there a point where you thought, well, he's not really running that great, I'm staying with him, you know? I mean, you never felt...
Towards the end, I mean, I could see that I was getting closer to him, but that and passing him is two different things. When the track's the way it is.
Do you think caution, what came out maybe somewhere, you know, in the last 20, 30 laps would help you at all?
Yeah, I was praying for one. I didn't look at it every 10 laps. I was definitely needing one, that long stretch of green, you know. I was done.
The choice of tires were to get you up near the front quick?
Yeah.
And then, without the cautions though, that's...
I've heard a few more cautions than that. It wasn't many.
2, I think.
That's what we were talking to Smoke, and we figured it'd be a bunch.
Yeah, yeah. But it was
just being, because all it still had a little bit of mud down on the bottom, you know, figuring, you know, guys getting a little out of control, and maybe get down in there and start sliding across. But
throwing that stuff out on the track.
What do you prefer, like the night surface like tonight that was seemed like it would be tackier than the day surface, or like the rubber over surface?
whichever. It doesn't matter to me.
You just gotta set your track up, or your car up for both, either or.
Is one easier on tires than the other?
This one was
Yeah, tonight was.
If it would have been a day race, it would have been some real tire tearing up.
If we didn't get that rain, you can do anything you want. It's been pretty abrasive.
your plans for the rest of the season, both of you, as far as where you're going to go?
Probably just go ahead and keep running with the stars.
David, you said you're going wherever the money is, right?
I'm going to Woodstock, Georgia next week. I'm going down to Dixie, wherever the money is, until it snows.
Or either you going up to Syracuse in a couple weeks?
Yeah, I am.
I'm not. I'm not.
Never been there. Guess we'll go try.
It's fast west thing.
One or two more guys, because it's really raining bad. Are you done, or? Yep. Is that it? Okay.
Thank you.
Good job, guys. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, guys.
Nice little way of getting out of it.